Guys, I wanted to make this video because, you know, as a YouTube creator, content creator, right, I've been on YouTube since 2020. My previous channel, it was a crypto YouTube channel. That was this channel. I managed to grow it to over 18,000 subscribers, around 18,000 subscribers, right? And I did that within a short space of time. During the COVID, that's when the channel really grew, because I launched it during COVID and everybody was just at home watching videos online. But I've since changed the type of content that I do, so I'm no longer talking about crypto. Obviously, for you guys that are tuning in recently, you're seeing the entertainment side of things, right? News and things like that. But I always wondered, like, even from Andrew Tate back in the day, like people, a lot of these guys like Andrew Tate, Aiden Ross, Neo, now we have Clavicular, which is we're going to talk about in this video as well, guys. But they managed to just blow up all over YouTube, right? They blow up on the streaming platforms. You got your iShowSpeed, Kaisanat, people like that. And obviously, when you're a small channel like myself, you're trying to grow your channel. So I always wondered, like, how do they do it? Do they hire like a marketing team or something like that? Now, we've got a video that we're going to watch here, which basically breaks down the cheat code of how people are doing this, right? And or the platforms that are supporting this kind of growth, because nothing comes for free in this life. Nothing comes for free. And people genuinely don't seem to blow up by accident. A lot of the time, there's a team or a company or an agenda behind people's rise to fame. For example, Clavicular, right? We're going to be watching a video from a guy called Devin Nash. All right, guys, we're not going to watch the full video. We're just going to watch the first 20 plus minutes of the video. The video is 50 minutes long. So if you want to watch the full video, you can go to this guy's channel and watch the video. But I wanted to talk about and give my 2 cents on this thing, because this definitely, you know, kind of set off some things in my head. It's like, okay, the way I'm doing it is natural, right? And the way I've grown my channel was natural, right? And you know, we've seen the growth come up and then decline, and now because of the transition from being a crypto channel to a entertainment channel, you're seeing you know, you don't see as many views. People might think, oh, he paid for subscribers. No, I've never paid for subscribers. I've never paid for views, right? I grew all organically. But a lot of the people that used to tune into the content before is a long story, but you can tell by my views that I'm not getting as many. I've got 17,500 subscribers. I've lost a few, right? But it doesn't get 17,000 views on a video, right? Normally, you want the conversion. You want like a percentage of your subscribers to be about 10% to at least be tuning into the videos, right? And I'm not seeing that. And I'm trying to grow the channel, so I'm always trying to learn, how can I grow the channel, right? Now, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to grow it this way, because I don't have these behemoths behind me. But without further ado, let's get into this video, guys. But before we do, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Again, if you want to watch the full video, right, you can watch Kevin Nash, all right, guys? But if you're a subscriber to the channel and you follow the content, watch along with me, and we'll see exactly how do people like Clavicular, Aiden Ross, Neo, people like that, HS Tiki how do they grow so much on YouTube and all these different channels, Kick, Twitch? Let's tune into this video, guys. And remember, please like the video, because that definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. I'm going to stop ranting now. I'm just going to play the video, and I'll try not to talk as much through the video. And I hope this guy doesn't mind me sharing his content. But yeah, he's definitely got some gems that he drops in this. And you can let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Let's get into it.
All right. Have you got the feeling recently when you've been scrolling social media that you're being astroturfed? That like you aren't choosing the influencers and podcasters and like the brands and the topics that show up for you. You just are kind of a participant. Like the media doesn't feel as real as it used to be. Everything just feels like it's just being served to you. And a lot of times you come.
And again, guys, the purpose of me sharing this is for educational purposes, because we can always learn something. And not only that, maybe you're a content creator yourself. You've been on YouTube for ages and you're thinking, how come I'm not growing? Or why am I not growing at this kind of rate? Or how are they doing it? This is just to give you a wake-up call. It's like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just the budget and the strategy behind their growth. So let's just carry on.
across something that you didn't even choose or know about to select. Like, if you feel like things are not quite real anymore, this video is for you. Because if you understand this chart that we're going to go over today and all of the things I'm going to talk to you about, you're going to understand that content creation is a gamed system now. This is not clickbait. This is actually true. I'm going to go through step by step what is happening and how a person and a group of people can propel any influencer to high viewership, regardless of content quality. You can be the most uninteresting person ever, and you can still get boosted in algorithms. And it happens by tricking algorithms into featuring them. It's a guaranteed way to gain followers, and it's basically pay to win. So in this video, we're going to explain step by step how it works. We're going to go through some content that's in this system, and I will show you literally that you can promote anybody. You can promote anybody to the top in the world. It doesn't matter what their content is. What most people think about the creator economy and how it exists these days is no longer true. Algorithms are being abused at a very high level. So let's break it down. Let's go through step by step how this works. And this image here is absolutely going to be our Bible for this discussion. When we look at this, you're seeing a month-long period. So I want you to note, like, this is 1 month. This is, as of the time of this recording, this is March to April. So just a few days ago, you can see our number one guy here, Clavicular, who you may have heard of. You may have been like, this guy just exploded. I see videos of him everywhere. What's going on? I never searched for this dude. What's happening? Has generated over 2.2 billion, with a B, billion views in a single month. He has 69,000 videos. That's short form videos across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube and X. 69,000 videos that are all about him. How is this possible?
Guys, 2.2 billion views in a month is crazy. Obviously, that's not natural, right? It's natural, which you'll see from this video, but it's not natural to be able to create that kind of hype around yourself without a crazy strategy or team working behind you, or a platform. And if you keep watching, you'll see that Kick has a lot to do with this, right? Kick has a lot to do with what's going on here when he explains it.
Well, he has 1,610 paid clippers that are working full-time to put this stuff out on the internet. And likewise, you can see all of these other influencers who, to varying degrees, have the same thing going on. Here's Aiden Ross with 812 clippers. He has 11,000 videos that came out this month, accumulated about 714 million views. Now, this is the official Clipping and Kick partnership. This is them just releasing this information. This is not guessed upon data. This is like literally the platform that's doing it, showing you how this works. And we're going to break down exactly what is happening here and how these guys are tweaking the algorithm for this to work, because it's both fascinating and a little bit terrifying. All right. So the very first thing to understand about this, once you understand like that this is happening and that there's like just a ton of paid clippers that are being paid quite literally to post these clips everywhere of just various types of content. The first thing we have to understand is that you start with a central Discord server. Now, there are other ways to do these campaigns, and there are platforms like Vero, which or Duzla. One of those has some association with Mr. Beast. They operate the same way, but as platforms. But for this video, I think the most interesting stuff that we're going to go over is actually just going to be the platforms. So you can see here, this is the largest clipping server. And you can see that they, once you get into the clipping server, which I think has over like 20 or 30,000 people in it, you can say, hey, you're just a few steps away from getting paid for post content. Here's how you get started. You can just go browse the campaigns, and you can go see that you can apply for Kick streaming clipping program, which we're going to talk about a little bit later as it relates to this. So you can just get paid by joining one of these servers, no problem. And
so first of all, you're talking about people that are doing the clipping, right? Not the people that are paying the clippers, right? So people that are doing the clipping, they've got YouTube channels, or they will build these YouTube channels, get to 1,000 subscribers with 4,000 watch hours, and then they will be ready, they will be monetized, right? And once they're monetized, what they can do is they can get into these Discord servers, right? And they can, be part of these clipping campaigns. They get paid like a CPM. They get paid like per 1,000 views, might get 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents per 1,000 views, right? By Kick in these programs, or by the Discord servers, right? Or by Kick in these programs, right? And then they can then use, they can also get money from the ad revenue, okay? The ad revenue that they're getting on YouTube by clipping, for example. But anyway, let's carry on.
Here is exactly how these campaigns work step by step. Each campaign is going to be one influencer or a podcaster or a brand. Typically, like for the purposes of this video, we're going to be talking about live streamers, but this is being done for, I sat in these Discord servers, the invite only ones, and as well as like the public ones for the past like 3 weeks before making this video. And it shocked pretty much every major podcaster or like brand that you've heard of has had a campaign in these Discord servers.
Guys, I hate Discord, man. I can never get used to using Discord. Even for crypto, like I just use Telegram, x.com. I've never really been into Discord like that. I've only ever joined and used Discord when I've needed to use it or needed to do something or message somebody specific in Discord. I have a Discord account. I just don't ever use it, right? But yeah, let me know if you're a Discord user, guys.
In the time that I was sending them, and we're going to go over it, but like specific clips and specific moments that they want featured as well are also featured. So like it's a totally game system. Like there's just everybody's just doing paid clips that's popular whatsoever. How this system works is as follows. We're going to go through it. So starting with the CPM system and how it works. Typically, when we think about platforms, these are all going to be short form mostly. So this is going to be clips of this person's like long form. So when I say long form, I mean like a podcaster makes a video that's like 2 hours. And then these paid clippers will go through, they'll select 50 to 30 second videos, 30 to 60 second video parts or like 2-minute parts that they think are interesting. And then they will post those clips on these 3 platforms. There's a little bit of this done on X. It kind of depends. Every campaign is a little bit different, but most of them I've seen focus on these 3 platforms.
Guys, I'm going to try not to talk too much through it because I know you guys will probably get annoyed with it. But, you know, the other thing I wanted to say before we go back to this is like YouTube Shorts. I feel like YouTube is pushing the shorts way more than they are with long form content these days, right? Because the shorts, right? The shorts that the YouTube are competing with TikTok, Instagram, and these various other platforms, right? And it's short form content. And they're getting a lot of traction. They're getting a lot of users, right? And YouTube wants to tap into that. YouTube wants to be the #1 platform. Obviously, it makes sense. Why would you not want to be the #1 platform? So that's why they introduce YouTube Shorts. But a lot of creators are finding that the YouTube Shorts are interfering with their long form content. Because if you blow up on Shorts, it then affects your long form content. And if you're going to start a YouTube, if you're going to start doing Shorts, you're better off creating a separate YouTube channel and doing your shorts on that channel rather than on your main channel that you've been doing long form, because it will affect your views. I had to learn that the hard way, by the way, guys. Anyway, I'm going to try not to speak too much. I'm going to let it run for a bit so you guys can actually learn from this. And then, yeah, I'm going to chime in as well because I don't want this guy to think that I'm hijacking his content. Again, we're not going to watch the full video, right? But yeah, obviously, I wouldn't want YouTube to think that I'm jacking the content either. So the video could get restricted based on that. But yeah, let's just play some more of this video. It does go on for a little bit, all right, guys, because it takes a little while to get to the meat and potatoes. But by the time we get around the 20 minutes mark, we should have basically, and that's the 20 minutes mark of this video, is about 5 minutes in. So another 15 minutes, we should be able to get to what is actually trying to teach us here.
Platforms. The way that you get paid is you have what's called a flat CPM. So a CPM is just the amount that you make for 1,000 views. And these will usually be between about 10 cents to 40 cents, but I've seen ones that are as high as about $2 to $3. So every campaign has a like payout. And you can see here, I'll pull up one just so you can kind of see like how it looks. So this is a campaign for Caleb Hammer, and you may be seeing a lot of his clips. And this is a separate Discord server that's been created. You can see the payout for Caleb is 75 cents per 1,000 views, that there's a minimum view required for payout, and that there's a payment method. And it shows you the platforms that it wants you to post on.
So 75 cents per 1,000 views, that works out about $750 if the minimum is 100,000, because the minimum on this campaign is 100,000 views. So that's about $750. Not as easy to do on long form content, but very easy to do for a lot of people on the YouTube shorts, because they get like millions of views and things like that. But yeah, just to give you some a kind of rough idea of how much some of these guys can make. And not only that, then they get their ad revenue as well.
You can post on TikTok, you post on Instagram, you can post on Twitter, you can post on X in this case. So there's an example of like a pretty prominent podcaster. Now either it's his agency paying for this or it's him, I don't know, right? But he's this is the system that he's running. So this is an example of like a single campaign that's being run right now. Like this is something that I pulled just a couple of days ago. Okay, so they're offering a flat CPM of 75 cents per 1,000 views. And in this case, it's going to be 75 cents. I've seen like $2-3. Most of these are like 10 to like 50 cents or so. You'll notice on that screenshot that I linked you that there was a minimum view payout threshold. So what does that mean? That means that you can't have this campaign. You don't get paid if you don't have 100,000 views. Now, that's not per clip though. So what if we just like put the payment details over here for a second? The 100,000 views means the aggregate of you as an individual. So if you have 2 or 3 clips that get, let's say you have 3 clips that get 30,000 views each, you do not get paid. But if you have 3 clips that get 30,000 views and then 1 clip that gets 10,000, you get paid on the whole 100,000. So there's just that's what they mean by minimum payout. So most of these people are creating, for these campaigns, they're creating like 50 to 100 different clips across multiple different accounts in order to reach this payment threshold. And then they get paid based on the on the CPM that was stated. There are also bounties and bonuses. So these show up in a lot of individual clipping campaigns. And you can see here, we have a bounty for Pirate Software. Again, I don't know who sponsored this. I'm just showing you what's here. So here's Pirate Software. It says here that this is a payment of $3,000 per million views, which is a multiplier. $300 for 100,000 views and $3,000 for 1 million views. This is an invite only Discord server. So this is not associated with the other Discord server that I've shown. This is a secret Discord server because I think they're a little bit more careful when they're trying to promote individual clips and influencers, just from getting people to know about how this works. But you can't hide from Devin Nash. No, sir. So this is Pirate Software gives his thoughts on the recent changes to Kick. And there's requirements. Post the image below. All platforms are allowed, so they'll allow TikTok, Reels, they'll let in everything. And then there's like a command associated with it. But this is basically just a clip of like Pirate Software talking about Kick, and whoever wanted this promoted is paying for it to be promoted. So sometimes there's bounties, and sometimes you get paid quite a bit for those. Now, next, the campaigns usually have a maximum cap. So we were not seeing that in the previous ones that I'm showing you, but oftentimes the campaigns cap at like $10,000 to $20,000, at which point they shut off. And to be clear, I don't think that the servers that are doing this are scammy about this. Like you might think, oh, like they cap it at $10,000, then they don't tell anybody that everybody else that creates clips, like there's a bunch of free clips that are done. In my experience, like looking at this stuff and doing all this research and studying it, there isn't really a situation like that. Like there's a pretty clear progress bar to indicate when the cap has been reached and when you don't make money from clipping anymore. In most of these cases, I haven't really seen a lot of like black hat marketing in that direction, just to give credit where credit's due. Like my interest is in honest information. I'm not trying to make a value judgment here. There'll be plenty of that later in the video, and just for you to decide. So I didn't see that here. Most of this stuff is very well put together. I mean, by like pretty elite operators. And it seems to be pretty above board. I mean, the clippers get paid, and they get paid a base CPM, which you saw from Caleb's campaign that I listed here. And then they also get to keep the RPM, which means like the money the platform itself pays you. So you get both the CPM which is like the 75 cents per 1,000 that gets paid out through the campaign. And then you also get to earn whatever the YouTube short or the reel actually makes off of the ad revenue just off of the platform. So this ends up being a pretty good deal for like second and third world people, which are kind of the majority of people that are participating in this system. You can end up probably getting like an RPM of like maybe like $1.50 to $2 an hour. And for like first world or Americans or people like that, you know, that's going to probably translate to about like $300 or $400 a month. Like obviously the work that you put in, you get more. But for people in less advantaged countries that are getting paid that can be very notable. And it's worth noting also that although I didn't post it in my research here, all of these payments that I saw, literally all of them are in USDT. So they're...
So guys, just bear with it because he's going to get into who's actually doing this on a larger scale to blow up the people like Clavicular. 2.2 billion views in a month ain't a joke. I mean, I'm not even sure Mr. Beast gets that many views. And even his views have decreased by like 50% recently with all the AI algorithm stuff that's been going on with YouTube, guys. But yeah, it's crazy.
Paid via cryptocurrency. You're paid out via cryptocurrency. I guess in this case, this is a PayPal payment, so it might just be a direct payment. But almost all the campaigns I saw are paid out via USDT. So that's a cryptocurrency that's tethered to the dollar. So that's notable because I think that's very favorable to third world and second world countries. Okay, so let's take a person like Clavicular that we were talking about before, and you've got the 2.2 billion views on top of 70,000 clips. Like, how expensive is this campaign to run? Like, how crazy are we talking here? Well, it's going to be about 31,700 views on average because we're just taking the 2.2 billion and we're dividing it by the 70,000. And you get paid if you aggregate 100,000 views. You don't get paid if your total clips are below that. So there will be some percentage of people that just don't get paid, but I think the majority do. But let's say that like in a situation, just to give you an idea, where even like in a crazy number where like 70% of the views are free, which I think it's probably closer to like 20% or 30%. The math on it is it would cost $666,371 a month, even at $1 CPM, just to run Clav's campaign alone, not even considering all of these other people. So you see, someone like me or you, somebody small, you ain't got that kind of budget. You're not going to be able to grow like he can grow. Literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars are being spent every month to do this. So who's doing it? Who's paying for this? Right? That to me is one of the most interesting parts, because a couple of things, right? Number one, there are not many people that can set up campaigns like this. We're talking like management of hundreds of people, and like this is a lead operator marketer stuff. This is not like streamers. Okay. Very few of these streamers are running these campaigns themselves. There are people that are doing it. Like there are streamers that are running these campaigns themselves, like to lesser degrees. And I mean, you could also just have 3 people in your Discord do clips for you, and you could run a campaign like this yourself. But when I'm talking about these big Discord operations, these are being funded. And it's really interesting to see who is actually funding them and what is actually going on here. Because with respect to the streamers, I don't think that most streamers are really business oriented. That's just been my experience being a top talent manager for many years. I don't think that, and now I'm an agent on the brand side. I've worked with thousands of influencers, great entertainers, mostly not the sharpest tools in the shed when it comes to business, with a few exceptions. So they're not going to run campaigns like this. Who is running these campaigns? Well, let's go back to our friend Clavicular and see what he says about it. In this clip,
one of the fastest come ups in streaming. Absolutely.
Why do you think you're the fastest growing creator in the world right now?
I think I have a lot of strategies that are good for viral clipping engagement. I think Kick has helped push me a lot with their clipping budget. So, over 6 figures a month.
So Kick, over 6 figures a month.
And that campaign have been going towards pushing me out there to new audiences, because on Kick, there's not really a lot of growth, right? There's not as many users as Twitch, so people aren't organically coming across your streams. So they kind of have to incentivize people to stream on that platform in other ways. And one of the ways I go about it is with the Kick clipping program, where there's like a $20 or $30 CPM, and that kind of incentivizes people.
For the $20 and $30 CPM, he's referring to bounties, the system that we referred to before. The actual CPMs are much lower, but everything else he said is true. So that's right. The primary way that all this is being funded is that Kick is literally paying for it, the platform. So the streaming platform Kick is quite literally paying for all of this. They are paying to the tune of actually millions of dollars a month to do this. Now, you might say, why? Do they really love their streamers so much that they just want to feature their broadcasters? Well, I mean, that's like a part of it. But there's a couple.
So Kick is obviously nowhere near as big as like YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, right? But yeah, it's a smart strategy for them because they will pay for people. They will pay, instead of using their marketing budget to pay the influencers, right? They're using the marketing budget to pay the clippers to blow up the influencers. I would go as far as to say that the influencers probably get a deal from Kick because there's nothing stopping them from allowing Kick to blow them up and then them leaving the platform. You probably have to stay on the platform for a certain amount of time to, to raise awareness of Kick as well. Like, he talks about stake as well. Same thing. We saw that in crypto a little while back. A lot of crypto influencers were getting sponsored by stake, and they were the biggest ones. They were the biggest ones, and I think stake was using the same kind of strategy, right, guys? And you'll see later as well is that I don't think there's much long left before we actually, stop this. Because again, I don't want to watch the full video. You can go to his channel to watch the full video, but they have to have the Kick logo on these. When they do the campaign with Kick, they have to have the Kick logo on it. And I think it's a bit different to some of the Discord, because some people kind of have their own Discord servers and do their own campaign type thing, but it's just not going to be on this scale. They're not going to have the Kick type of budget. You know what I mean? And he said there's a few exceptions when it comes to business. Probably streamers like Andrew Tate. I remember Andrew Tate. He's got the Hustlers University, and he was getting loads of people to do clipping through there. So you don't always have to have someone like Kick or one of these platforms, right? You can build your own ecosystem and do it that way. Andrew Tate, obviously very smart, very business savvy, and I don't know if he was the first person to do it actually, but it turns out that is like just one of the best strategies to be able to do this thing. Let's just watch the next 5 minutes, and then we'll conclude.
More interesting things that are going on. So let's talk about the Kick funnel and what is happening. Now, you astute observer, you deep analysis person, you may have noticed a particular line right here. Now, this is the public discoursing. This is the public Discord for the clipping. Like if you want to start with clipping, you come here. But what if you want to be one of these Kick clippers? Well, you have to get into the Kick specific program. And there is an application once you've been established to get into that. That's the funnel. So you start in the free place, and then you eventually get into these invite-only places where all of the secrets go. And the invite-only places where all the secrets go are quite interesting, okay? Because, we can't possibly know what goes on there because they're invite-only, and no one would ever invite me, or would they? Okay, so I did some underground journalism, got into a couple of these servers, and you can see here as the overlay guide. Let's read this. Please use the examples below to make sure the Kick logo and watermark placement is correct on all clips. The Kick overlay should always be clearly visible and placed so that it can be properly seen at all times. Make sure the overlay is sized and placed exactly in this guide before submitting. It must stay visible at all times, must remain clear or obstructed at all times, sized and placed to fit your clip exactly as shown in this guide. Some UI stuff here. Follow the examples. Incorrect logo placement may result in your clip being rejected. AKA, very important right there. That's kind of the key thing to focus on. If you do not put the Kick logo, as seen right here, onto your clips, you do not get paid. So every one of these multiple billions of views has that Kick logo square right into the right in the bottom for the entire duration of the video, and every one of the clippers is doing that. That is why Kick is doing this. You must have the Kick banner on every clip. If you mess it up, there's no pay whatsoever. how are these influencers by Kick being chosen? I can't figure that out. I've gotten a lot of different people kind of like weighing in on that. Nearest I can tell, it's basically who you know at Kick. Now, they like technically offer this program via the Kick partner program, the KPP they call it. They offer it to any Kick partner, and I'm actually pretty confident that if you were a Kick partner, you could probably message somebody like some staff member and be like, "Hey, I want to be in on this," and you could probably do it. And I think to some degree they would feature you. But like, what determines that? Like these people get like featured over like these people, I think it's arbitrary. And also just that some of these people have like Clavicular like also just did really well when it comes to like the way that he gets viewership. It just worked. Like it actually helped him go viral, and a lot of the stuff that he did like went viral on its own once it got featured everywhere. So I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on with the Kick stuff. And it's a little bit iffy. So Kick is quite literally spending millions of dollars, like actually millions of dollars per month to promote broadcasters, and then they're also paying them on the back end through the partner program as well. And simultaneously, they're doing this as a marketing strategy to bring people to Kick. So this is a different approach. From like to understand this, we've got to kind of go back in time a little bit, and we have to understand how Twitch, the main live streaming website that has most of the viewers right now. Well, YouTube now has all those viewers, but it used to have a lot of the viewers. Their marketing strategy in 2015-ish, like 2012, this started. We'll talk about like the Twitch marketing strategy. Their marketing strategy was to pay streamers individually to stream on the platform, and they got bonuses based on how many viewers they had and like how many hours they streamed. And like the Twitch way of doing this was to offer contracts to streamers for flat rates plus like minimum guarantees and bonuses, with the idea of keeping them on the platform. This was an exclusive thing. Kick actually doesn't care about if you're like exclusive most of the time or not, except for their like very top people. So the marketing strategy that Twitch used to use was to pay before they ran out of money, and like Amazon basically cut their budget. I mean, they're a ghost ship now, right? But before they basically cut their budget, this was how Twitch operated. So Kick has looked at this, and Kick has said, you know what? We want to go a different route. And they're using a playbook that they used at Stake. Stake is the kind of partner company to Kick. I know they don't like that they don't like that association, but I mean, like literally when I was on the podcast with the owner of, to me, it's like if your executives are cross-sectional decision makers on each like if you have an executive, you have a CMO, and the CMO makes decisions for both Stake and both Kick, like they're associated companies. That's it, right? Like, and when I talked to Eddie, the owner of Kick, who was very charitable to me, honestly, on the podcast, he was very transparent about that. So look, to me, it's like it's an associated company. Stake had the playbook. You might have seen this even if you're a pretty savvy social media person. You might remember when you were seeing like Stake logos all over the place across like all social media. That's just this playbook, right? Like this is people getting paid to post Stake logos everywhere. They took that playbook and they optimized it and they put it out there for Kick. And this has a dual purpose of like, one, it blows the streamers up, so it markets them, and number two, it obviously brings people to the website, because 2.2 billion people are seeing the Kick logo, and some of them, like some very small percentage, are going to go to Kick and check it out, and this is going to boost their live viewership as well. So like on YouTube Shorts and like TikToks and Reels and stuff, the conversions are bad, like percentage wise, like you might. It's like 0.00001%. But it doesn't matter. If you have 2 billion views and like the aggregated views of all these people are way more, you're going to have some people come to your website. Now, look, I'm a marketer, okay? I'm a brand agency owner. This is smart marketing. Like from their perspective, like whatever you might think about the ethics of it, and you're well within your rights to think about the ethics and the morals of this. But like that's like I'm here to just present the information. I gotta say though, like from a perspective of like what Twitch did, which is like, okay, we've got to grow our website somehow. Like we could pay streamers millions of dollars to stay on the platform, and then we are making those streamers responsible for their own growth. So all the OGs that got the contracts and got paid on Twitch, they all had to solve the growth problem themselves. Like bringing viewers to the website was up to them. But Kick is saying, no, we are actually going to do this for you, and we're going to bring people to the website, and this is where our marketing budget is going to go. So they're spending tens of millions of dollars because this is understanding that this is a ecosystem that feeds them. That's why this exists. Okay, Kick would not be paying this kind of money if they didn't want to actually build the platform. So like from the perspective of a pure marketing perspective, this is a superior marketing strategy than what Twitch did.
It does help. I guess it does help if you have some motion already, right? But it just goes to show that literally, if you've got the budget, they can blow up anybody. Like, you could be nobody. They could take me today and they could blow me up across social media. Not just Kick, and somebody with a budget, with a marketing budget, right? Using this strategy, right? So when I'm here trying to build a platform, I'm here trying to grow the subscribers and grow the view count. It's like, yo, how come I'm not getting the views? Like, what's going on? How do you compete with Clavicular? How do you compete with TikTok? How do you compete with these guys? Do I have to go and get on all the social media platforms and hire a team and get on TikTok, Instagram, or promote the videos all myself? No. You can hire maybe like 1 or 2 people to do that for you, but as well, they might not have that kind of motion as well. And there's only so many pairs of hands. But guess what? When you open it up to a forum and you've got hundreds and thousands of people coming and saying, listen, we want to get hold of some of this clipping money. We can clip the content. We can get paid from clipping it and get paid from the platform. And all we have to do is push some buttons. It works. And it blows people up. And then the algorithm says, hey, look, there's all these people are talking about this guy, Clavicular. Comes up in the algorithm. And then that blows up Clavicular's platform, Clavicular's videos, TikTok's videos, Aiden Ross's videos, right? And then they all get redirected back to this platform, whether it be Twitch or Kick, right? So, yeah. Guys, don't be hard on yourself if you're struggling to grow, right? And you don't have this kind of budget because, listen, you're competing with billionaires. All right, guys? So, yeah, shout out to the guy that, obviously, what's his name? His name is Devin Nash. If you want to go and watch the full video, guys, go and check it out on his channel. I hope he doesn't mind. Once again, me clipping his content. I didn't actually clip it, really, didn't I? I just watched it. I guess clips are a lot shorter than that, but yeah, ironically. But yeah, guys, go and check out his channel. Subscribe to his channel. He's got 137,000 subscribers, so he's quite well known in the space, and he looks like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to marketing, guys. So we can always learn, guys. We can always feed ourselves and work on ourselves and help and build ourselves up to be able to learn more so that we can achieve more. All right, guys, so let me know what you think about this kind of content. And yeah, guys, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Tick the little bell for notifications. Bit of a long one, but hopefully you watched to the end and you got some value out of it, guys. I'll see you in the very next video.